Oh my God, people. This episode has changed everything. I'm officially a train wreck. Let's get into it. So the episode starts off with our new lovely ship, Seb and Carlos, dancing. You want to talk about a ship to keep an eye on? I'd probably rank this number 2 on my list of ships that I'm currently the most intrigued with right now. As far as number 1 is concerned, we'll get into that later. So Ricky hears the news that Nene is in fact single, and Big Red is trying his hardest to convince him to ask Nene to the homecoming dance. But Ricky refuses, because he's not trying to look that desperate. I mean, come on. Asking Nene to homecoming on the day of homecoming, right after her breakup? What could be more embarrassing than that? Stay tuned for that answer because it's hilarious. So Nene says she's done with boys. She's so done, in fact, that she decides to attempt to flush her homecoming dress down the toilet. I guess just not going wasn't good enough for you, huh, Nene? So Courtney and Nene decides to have a girls' night out and skip homecoming. And Miss Jen decides to tag along with the girls as well. Well, this should be very interesting if nothing else. I predict a lot of laughs and a lot of cringe. So Ricky comes home to see his dad still laying on the couch depressed about his mom leaving. So depressed that apparently he took a whole week off from work. Yikes. Now that's sad. But that's not the saddest part of this scene. Those honors belong to Ricky, because he is indeed going to homecoming dance. And with who, you may ask? Who else? No, seriously, like, who else? He knows like 3 people in life. He's going with Big Red. Duh. Now this is something many of us saw coming, but none of us wanted to believe. Well, now it's confirmed. But I mean, Ricky said it best. Who needs a girlfriend when you have a best friend with 2 left feet? You do, Ricky. You do. So Carlos works up the courage to ask Seb out to homecoming. And I was nervous as hell when he asked this, because everything about Seb's face was saying that this ain't happening. I thought at first that maybe he wasn't ready to be out and about with Carlos. I mean, that's kind of the way he made it sound at first, but then he tells Carlos to text him what he's gonna wear, and then he walks out of the room with the biggest smile on his face. So I guess we're doing this. And now it's time for homecoming. People get ready for this. I mean, I already saw it, and I'm still not ready. So Gina and EJ come in looking all cute and as they're taking dozens and dozens of photos together, EJ is really losing his patience with Gina. He wants to know what the plan is here, and he wants to know now. As do I. I mean, I'm starting to think that even you don't know what the plan is here, Gina. Right. I'm starting to think that. So it's time for girls' night, and when Jen goes to pick up the food, she runs into Ricky's dad. And right away, and I mean right away, you just know that this is about to be a ship. And after Miss Jen tells him that he looks great, and he gives off the most teenage schoolgirl blush that I've ever seen from an older man in my entire life, you just know what's coming next. So remember when I said in my last video that I was confused on how Nene could get jealous over Gina and EJ if she's not even at the dance? Well, I feel stupid now, because I forgot it's 2019 and Instagram exists. And this is exactly how Nene sees Gina with EJ, and Nene's night is officially ruined. And her night wasn't the only night that got ruined, because Seb didn't show up to homecoming. Left my boy Carlos all alone looking like a damn fool. See, this is what I was afraid of. This is why I don't trust people. I was just starting to like you, Seb, but when you start hurting characters that I like, you're dead to me. This is strike 1 for you, buddy. So Gina and EJ decided to sit down with Ricky and Big Red, and things get awkwardly cute real quick.
Could you give me some punch, babe?
Sure, babe.
And Ricky doesn't even hesitate to step in and tell Gina that she can do better. And he thought that Gina was classier than that. But apparently she's exactly what everyone says she is. And what exactly is that, Ricky?
It's a little too ambitious for your own good, or anyone else's.
Oh, my dude really just took it there. Ricky, you're acting like she's sitting there with Nene or something. Or maybe you're acting like something else. So Mike comes clean to Miss Jen about making up this whole imaginary online girl thing, and he admits that he only made that up so he could spark a conversation with her. And this actually ends up working, and they actually start to click. I mean, let this be a lesson, kids. Lying really works. So Big Red calls out Ricky for his behavior towards Gina, and I gotta tell you, Big Red just earned a lot of respect from me from this scene. Even though he wasn't technically right in saying that Gina and EJ being there wasn't about him, because it kinda was. I mean, it was mostly about Nene, but still though, Big Red did make a point. People are allowed to go out with whoever they want, and they're allowed to be whoever they want to be. Everything isn't always about you, Ricky. Even though, again, this kinda is, but still. So EJ and Gina get into a big argument, which ends up with Gina pouring punch on EJ's head. And now the moment we've all been waiting for finally arrives. Gina reveals her big master plan.
There's no plan, okay? I had a vague idea that Nene was gonna be with Courtney, see me with EJ, and then I don't know, just get so fed up with all the drama that she just quit the show or something.
What? So you mean to tell me that this whole time I thought you were this evil genius mastermind? You had no idea what you were doing this entire time? Well, ain't that a Your vague idea was my prediction since the very beginning. And if I can guess what you're doing, your idea sucks. So Ricky goes to apologize to Gina, and he explains that he thought that he and Gina had something in common because they were both outsiders in their own ways. But the big key takeaway here, besides their chemistry oozing all over the damn place, is we find out that Gina may have some issues back at home herself. Something else that her and Ricky have in common. Interesting. And Gina goes on to ask Ricky to give her a ride home, and she'll call it even with him. Oh boy, here we go. So Courtney tries to sign Nene up to sing, but Nene is really doubting herself.
The only reason I got the lead at school is because I played the lead at camp, and the only reason I got the lead at camp is because my boyfriend,
Ex-boyfriend,
took out the girl who got the actual lead. That part was never mine.
I mean, that's true to some extent, but you wouldn't have gotten the part if you didn't have real talent, Nene. You were given an opportunity and you took advantage of it. What's wrong with that? People are given opportunities every single day, and a lot of them don't take advantage of them. But nonetheless, there's only one way to settle this: a musical.
I used to feel like I was lost. It's like my phone's navigation was turned off.
Okay, so this scene with Courtney and Nene singing is exactly the kind of scene that I thought that I would be seeing with this show all the time. Now keep in mind, I've never seen any of the High School Musical movies, and when I think High School Musical, this is exactly the kind of scene that I think about. But when scenes like this only happen every once in a while, I tend to appreciate them a lot more. And I did appreciate and really like this song and this scene. Okay, so back to Carlos. Man, oh man. Watching him dancing alone was painful. I had to look away from my screen several times. Luckily, Ashlyn came in to save the day, and it all took off from there. Get it, Carlos? Who the hell needs Seb anyways? Oh look, there's Seb. Look who finally decided to show up. And he goes on to give every excuse in the world on why he was 3 hours late, including losing a cow. That's the equivalent of my dog ate my homework. But you know what? Hey, you showed up. You made my man happy. So, I'll let it slide. This time. So now let's talk about the scene that changed it all. The scene that made me jump ship. So the episode ends with Gina and Ricky having a very deep conversation.
You're the reason I stayed with the show. That night at the skate park, it's been a big deal for me. The Troy thing.
Well, it suits you. You know, I meant what I said at the skate park about you having your own style. Good night, Ricky.
I feel like a shipping whore. I'm jumping from one ship to the next ship to the next ship to the next ship. But do you blame me, people? Do you blame me? For everyone that liked Gina and EJ before this episode, are you really going to look me in my eyes and say with a straight face that you still like them more than Gina and Ricky? After seeing this episode, you's a goddamn lie. I'm pretty convinced at this point that Ricky just has better chemistry with both of the girls. A lot more than EJ has with both of them. Forget about the EJ, Ricky, and Nene love triangle. Let's make this a Ricky, Nene, and Gina love triangle. I mean, nobody likes EJ anyways. Do we really need him? But yeah, people, that was the episode. Oh wait, no. I think I forgot to mention one pretty big detail near the end here, and that's Miss Jen may be in some deep trouble because apparently going to the homecoming dance was a mandatory thing, and she kind of skipped that to have a girls' night out. So, yeah, she might get fired. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. I hope that doesn't happen because I'm actually starting to really like Miss Jen. I wasn't sure how I felt about her at first, but I think I'm starting to really warm up to her lately. So, let's hope that doesn't happen. And people, oh my God, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say right now. I'm like so in my feels. I'm so in my feels, people. Like I was so sure that I was going to go in the Ricky Nene direction and the EJ Gina direction. Like I was damn near ready to come out with a video talking about how much I shipped them. I was so close. And then they hit me with this episode. And now I have to reevaluate my entire life. I gotta reevaluate everything, people. I think I just like Ricky better with everybody over EJ. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. I mean, like I told you guys before, I don't like EJ's character that much. And so far, Ricky seems to have better chemistry with everyone he talks to over EJ. So, I mean, but the question is, if we do end up having a love triangle or square, if you guys insist on adding EJ in there, then okay, whatever. But if we do end up doing this, now it gets even more complicated because it wasn't really that hard for me to pick between EJ and Ricky. Like that was pretty easy. Like it didn't take that much time. Like pretty much at no point at all was I ever leaning in the EJ Nene direction. At no point was I leaning there. But in this case, it gets more challenging because I liked what I saw from Nene and Ricky. But man, I really liked what I saw from Ricky and Gina in this episode, faithful. So I don't know now. Okay? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who to ship right now. I need to see more. But the potential between Gina and Ricky was on full display in this episode. So if it comes down to it, we might have to all pick a side, people. We have to pick a side. But we don't have to pick a side today. We don't have to, it's still early in the show. You know, we have a lot more episodes to watch. So don't feel pressured to pick a side yet if you're not ready, because I know I'm not. But we'll see what happens. As far as Carlos and Seb, that's another ship that I have my eyes heavily on. I think that might be my second favorite ship, or at least the second ship that I am the most intrigued with right now. I think the first one is probably Gina and Ricky, because I think they have a whole lot of potential. And I'm hoping the show explores that. Even if they don't end up in game, I still want to see that explored at the very least. But Carlos and Seb, they got some chemistry going on too, and they were adorable in this episode. Even though Seb pissed me off for a second there, he made up for it when he finally came to the dance. So, like I said, strike one, but I'll let it go for now. But yeah, people, this was my favorite episode of the show so far. I feel like that's almost every episode so far. I feel like every episode I like a little bit more than the previous one. So that's a really good sign. Really good sign, people. God, I love this show right now. This show is amazing. I love it. I look forward to it every single Friday. It's my new favorite show. It's my new favorite show. But anyways, I feel like I'm rambling way too much right now. I'm all up in my feels. I'm so hyper right now. But I'm just gonna get out of here. Maybe I'll make a follow-up video talking about some of this. But for right now, people, for right now, let me know what you guys thought about this. Who are you shipping? All that good stuff. But for now, I think I said enough in this video, so I think, and I'm done talking. Until next time.